first goal is to set studio expectations and to get to know the student and parents and establish a friendly professional relationship there. My second goal is to assess and teach oral skill concepts. My third goal is to teach pattern concepts with the keyboard. My fourth goal is to teach note names, and my fifth goal is to teach finger numbering in this first lesson. So firstly, there will be an interview process to help me with my first goal of getting to know the students and establishing that professional relationship. In this interview, I would ask simple get-to-know-you questions for the student to help them feel comfortable with me, and then I would also share details about myself that might be fun, such as my hobbies, favorite color, favorite food, and try to find something in common with the student. I would ask the student why they would like to be in piano lessons, and then explain what piano lessons look like. Practicing, lesson time, lesson commitment, reaching goals, things like that. And I would also help the parents understand that piano is a time commitment, but it's an investment in their child's future, because being able to play piano could be a hobby and talent that they fall in love with. It could help them gain life skills, and it could help them in their human development. My second goal of teaching and assessing oral skills would be through a high and low concept. After the interview, I would invite the student to come to the keyboard, and then I would teach them the concept that there are high and low notes on the keyboard based off of where they're placed in the keyboard, and that notes to the far right are considered the top of the keyboard, and they sound higher, they sound different. And notes on the left of the keyboard are going to be lower, and they sound different as well. And I would teach that through an escalator visual. And imagine somebody going up an escalator, and they start with making a low noise like and then making a high-pitched noise once they get to the top of the escalator. I would then ask them to play any note on the keyboard, and then I would ask them if it sounds like the note is on the top of the escalator or the bottom of the escalator, if it sounds high or low. And then I would play notes and then try to tell them if it was high or low, and then they could correct me. They could tell me if I'm right or wrong, and this would help solidify understanding. My third goal is to teach patterns on the keyboard. So after teaching about the escalator concept, I would then ask discovery-based questions to help the student recognize and understand that there are groups of black keys on the piano. There's a group of 3 and a group of 2. An example of a discovery question that I could ask would be, do you notice if there's any groups in the black keys? Do you see any groups? Do you see any keys that look like they're closer together than the rest of the keys? And then I'd ask them, how many do you see in the group? Things like that. After teaching patterns on the keyboard, then I would teach them something that I love called the knuckle song. And it's essentially when you put your hand in a fist position and roll your fist on top of 3 black keys, and then hit your fist on the first black key in a set of 2 above it. And then this would be a fun activity that would help them learn the pattern and have fun with it. My fourth goal is to teach the alphabet on the piano. I would also teach the student that along with the patterns of the black keys on the piano, that there is an alphabet in the piano going from A until G, but instead of going to the end of the alphabet, it just always repeats on an A. I would teach them that one of the most important notes on the keyboard that we will learn first is C. And then I would ask them to find a group of 2, like they had just previously found, and then find the white note just below the group of 2, and that's a C. And then I would have them find all of the C's on the keyboard. And then I would then begin to teach them that there are also other notes such as A through G, and then have them find those notes on the keyboard as well. And for my fifth goal, finger numbering, I would teach them that there are fingers 1 through 5. And how I would teach them this is actually through finger puppets. And as I would wiggle fingers, I would have the student tell me if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And to implement practice for this, I will have the students practice the knuckle song at home and then teach it to a sibling so that they can solidify their understanding. And I'd also have them take the finger puppets home, have them play with their parents and their siblings to identify finger numbers. And then to have them practice the alphabet on the piano, I would have flashcards available